I think we're live. What's going on? Afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a good end of the January. There's been a lot of speculation, questions about what the Trump White House is exactly said about electric vehicles, and I already posted that in the community tab for YouTube about what the Trump administration specifically said. But I thought I would just get on here and read it to everybody because there seems to have been a lot of confusion about it. So we're going to share screen. Mission American Energy. Okay, so cool. Now, this is direct from whitehouse.gov. It's not from any news article, right? This is exactly the wording. Now you'll see that this is under several executive orders under Unleashing American Energy. That was from the 20th. Now it says, by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered. Section 1, background. America is blessed with abundance of energy and natural resources that have historically powered our nation's economic prosperity. In recent years, burdensome and ideological motivated regulations have impacted the development of these resources, limited the generation of reliable and affordable electricity, reduced job creation, and inflicted high energy costs upon our citizens. These high energy costs devastate American consumers by driving up the cost of transportation, heating, utilities, farming, and manufacturing while weakening our national security. It is thus the nation's interest to unleash America's affordable and reliable energy security. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there is Section E, which is about electric vehicles. So he says to limit the electric vehicle mandate and promote true consumer choice, which is essential for economic growth and innovation, by removing regulatory barriers to motor vehicle access, by ensuring a level regulatory playing field for consumer choice in vehicles, by terminating, where appropriate, state to limit sales of gasoline-powered automobiles, and by considering the elimination of unfair ill-conceived government-imposed market distortions that favor EVs over other technologies, and effective mandate businesses and government entities alike by rendering other types of vehicles unaffordable. Wording from the White House. We could go over this line by line. Yeah, to eliminate and promote true consumerism choice, which is essential for economic and growth and innovation. So basically, they're trying to say there is technically no mandate. The other executive order, as I discussed before, it set a floor for like, this is how efficient vehicles in the fleet need to be for automakers. And there's no way they can meet that by selling gas-powered vehicles. They have to essentially have electric vehicles to offset the MPG rating to make it way higher. So that's why this has been said. And then they go by removing regulatory barriers to motor vehicle access, by ensuring a regulatory playing field for consumer choice in vehicles, by terminating where appropriate state emission waivers that function to limit sales of gasoline-powered automobiles, and by considering the elimination of unfair subsidies and other ill-conceived government-imposed market distortions that favor EVs. So basically trying to remove subsidies and any, I think, gas taxes, maybe federal gas taxes, over other technologies and effective mandate their purchase by individuals. Yeah, so they're saying the federal EV subsidy of 7,500 is a market distortion, which it technically is. No matter what side of the political aisle you're on, yeah, I mean, that's a subsidy to encourage the use. Private business and government entities alike by running other types of vehicles unaffordable. So there is an argument that tax electric vehicle automakers build in their pricing. Their pricing is just insane. Let's be honest. I mean, what we've seen with Dodge currently is just insane. The inaugural address, and there's a bunch of stuff in here, but electric vehicle, the section, it says, with my actions today, we will end the Green New Deal and we will revoke the electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto industry and keeping my sacred pledge to our great American auto workers. Yeah, so I guess the thing that Trump was saying there is basically the Inflation Reduction Act. It'll be interesting to see what he does there because a lot of red states have benefited from that. So, but you could also go to, yeah, I'm not seeing anything else that he's actually said. We're going to reshare to talk about, say, green energy. Okay, so this is a memorandum. The directive in Section 7 of the Executive Order entitled Unleashing American Energy requires agencies to immediately pause disbursement of funds appropriated under the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. So they are freezing green energy, any probably funds for battery plants, things like that, or the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. This pause only applies to funds supporting programs, projects, or activities that may be implicated by the policy established in Section 2 of the order. This interpretation is consistent with Section 7's terminating the Green New Deal and its reference to the law and policy outlined in Section 2 of the order. For the purposes of implementing Section 7 of the order, funds supporting the Green New Deal refer to any appropriations for objectives that contravene policies established in Section 2. Agency heads may disperse funds as they deem necessary after consulting with the Office of Management and Budget. So, yeah, they're clamping down on all the money. They're clamping down on electric vehicles as a whole. I mean, do you think Donald Trump is going to actually crash the EV market? We could go to Google News, see what people think. Let me know how the sound is, guys. Let's see, electric cars. Oh, misspelled car. So yeah, Maryland state officials tap progress on electric cars, but acknowledge the Trump elephant in the room. Yeah, I mean, hard to ignore Trump, right? Give me 1 second. Can I see that? Uses Trump moves. Associated Press. State officials tap progress on electric cars, but acknowledge the Trump elephant in the room. This is under Maryland Matters. Top more official state lawmakers Wednesday that they're committed to implementing aggressive mandates for the sale of electric vehicles in the years ahead. They acknowledge that the push to put more battery-operated vehicles on the road faces multiple challenges that just became harder now that President Donald Trump is back in office. Yeah, we already knew most of this. Yeah, unwind a Biden policy that EVs should make up 50% of new car sales by 2030. Block distribution of federal grants for EV chargers. Cancel federal tax credits up to $7,500 for EV purchases. Revoke a waiver that the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency provided to California, allowing the state to ban sales of new gas cars only by 2035. Yeah, we already knew all that. Yeah, so I guess Maryland has agreed to follow California's lead on electric car and truck sales and emission standards rather than adhering to weaker federal guidelines. All the experts say that EV sales are increasing in Maryland, that the EV charging infrastructure is more abundant than ever. They also generally agree that the new Trump order is bound to wind up being challenged in court, leaving its status and immediate impact hard to determine. But yeah, gas cars will be with us for a long, long time. I've already said that. We already know this type of stuff. McLean and her lieutenants, along with officials from the Maryland Department of Transportation, MDOT sought to put the best face on the state's efforts to gin up EV sales and expand and improve the charging technology. There were 126,960 registered electric vehicles in Maryland as of December 2024. Oh, that's actually more than I thought. Because I think there's about 6, 7 million people in the state, so that's a decent number. 92,720 a year earlier. That's an especially big jump from December 2020 when there were 29,268 registered EVs on the road in our state. Yeah, that's interesting stat there because I feel like I see a lot more Teslas and other vehicles around now. Yeah, I'm not going to read this whole article. See, let's go to cars. Which electric cars are still eligible for the 7,100 federal tax credit? Solicited. Blazer. Credit available. 7,500. Yeah, so very few electric EVs. Oh yeah, only the Tesla Cybertruck. I mean, people are like, well, these are $80,000 vehicles, but I mean, you look at what some other automakers are charging for their gas-powered vehicles. I mean, they start at like 50 grand, and you're thinking, like, damn. I mean, did everyone go crazy? Trump next for EVs. What's next for EVs as Trump moves to revoke Biden-era incentives? Executive order promising. Yeah, see, they link to the executive order. A lot of these news articles haven't. They just, I've noticed this is an issue with a lot of news sites, or just like if you watch cable news, they'll take like civic soundbite of people on either side of the aisle, both I'd say political structures do this. They'll focus in on one sentence they said. It's taken out of context, right? And then you watch the whole thing and you're like, well, that's not really what they meant. So you go to the source of anything, but it's getting harder and harder to do just because we have such a charged political environment. President Donald Trump signed an executive order promising to eliminate what he incorrectly labels the electric vehicle mandate imposed under former President Joe Biden. I mean, yeah, that's not really accurate. Associated Press. It technically is an electric vehicle mandate. His order on Monday is consistent with pledges Trump made on the campaign trail to end what he calls a preposterous focus on EVs by Biden and other Democrats. The order, along with other steps expected in a second Trump administration, could slow U.S. efforts to address climate change, much of which is caused by burning gasoline and diesel fuel that emit carbon dioxide. Trump actions and what happens next. Eliminate the electric vehicle mandate and promote true consumer choice. And to force the purchase of EVs, the Democratic president's policies were aimed at encouraging Americans to buy them and car companies to shift from gas-powered vehicles to electric. Oh, there may be a charging issue with the laptop, so if the stream ends, I thought that was taken care of. Yeah, unleashing American energy. I kind of went over all this, but yeah, I'd be curious what you guys think. Did Trump address EV charging? One of the executive orders put an immediate pause in billions of dollars in funding for allocated EV charging stations. That is the other executive order that I read that was essentially pausing that IRA money. Now, I think my personal opinion is that if you want an EV, you're going to buy one, and you probably have the money anyway. So whatever Trump does, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, I try and go through every comment on the channel. Love to get them when they're positive. I'll catch you in the next video.